again, and welcome to Learn English Elementary Podcast number 4. I'm Ravi from Manchester.
And I'm Tess from London. Hi! Now, as usual, we've got loads of great stuff for you to listen to. But before we tell you about that, Ravi, I have to ask you, are you feeling better now?
Oh, a lot better now, thank you.
On Saturday morning, Ravi called me and he sounded terrible. Oh, Tess, I feel really bad.
Yeah, okay. I did feel terrible.
Oh.
I had a really bad cold, a headache. Ooh. I had a football match on Saturday afternoon too.
You didn't play football, did you?
No, I felt too bad. Do you know what I did?
What?
A friend came over and we watched all of the Lord of the Rings films, all 3 of them. 10 hours of DVDs.
You're joking. I can't watch TV for that long. I get bored. Anyway, I didn't really like Lord of the Rings. I like the book. The film's never as good as the book, I think.
I haven't read the book, so I don't know, but believe it or not, that's exactly the question we asked people in your turn this week. Which do you prefer, the book or the film?
Really? I bet everyone says that books are better.
I'm not so sure. Anyway, that's for later. Now it's time for I'd Like to Meet. In this part of the podcast, we ask people a simple question. Which famous person, dead or alive, would you like to meet? And we ask them to explain why. So let's say hello to this week's guest, Marcus from London. Welcome to I'd Like to Meet, Marcus. Thank you, Ravi.
Hello, Marcus.
Hi, Tess.
And you're from London, Marcus. That's where I'm from.
That's right, I was born here, and I've lived here all my life.
And what do you do?
I work in a supermarket, but I want to be a professional musician. That's my ambition for the future.
We all need ambitions, Marcus, and that's a good one. Now I'm going to ask the question. So, Marcus, which famous person, dead or alive, would you like to meet? I think you're going to talk about a musician, aren't you?
You're right, Tess. She's always right. I'd like to meet Bob Marley.
Oh, Bob Marley? He's one of my heroes. I'm sure our listeners know Bob Marley, but could you explain who he is for us?
Bob Marley was Jamaican, and he was the man who gave reggae music to the world outside Jamaica, of course, and the Rastafarian religion too. He was also famous for his beliefs. He was born in 1945 and died in 1981, so he died very young. He was only in his 30s. How did he die? He had cancer. Why did you choose him to talk about today? Bob Marley never wrote a bad song. My father was a big Bob Marley fan, so I grew up listening to his music at home when I was a kid. I used to listen to him when I was sad. It's impossible to listen to Bob Marley and feel unhappy. That was his message to the world. Don't worry, be happy. He wasn't interested in negative things. His music was always positive. He's a legend. He was the first superstar from a poor country, and that's why people from poor countries all over the world love him so much. His music speaks to them. Everywhere you go, everywhere in the world, people know and love Bob Marley. Everywhere. He was poor. He grew up in an area called Trenchtown, a very poor area in Jamaica with gang problems and drug problems. He left school when he was 14 and started work. His message is universal. It's a program, really. It's how human beings are all the same, black or white, rich or poor, and his religion helped him to understand that. He once said, I don't stand for the black man's side. I don't stand for the white man's side. I stand for God's side. God was very important to him. He was a very spiritual man. I'm a musician, and I want my music to have a message. I want to make people feel good. Like in the song, One Love. One heart, let's get together and feel alright. That's the message. It's so simple.
And is there a special question that you'd like to ask him, Marcus?
Thousands! But no, not really. Not one special question. I'd like to sit and talk to him for a long time. All night if I could. No, not one special question. I enjoyed that, Marcus. Thanks a lot.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank you. And remember, listeners, that we'd like to hear from you. Which famous person, dead or alive, would you like to meet, and why? Email us at learnenglish